to my camera. There we go. Hi, everybody. This is Quotidian Light, aka Maya Good. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe down below if you like my videos. Today, I'm going to be talking about some changes I've made to the channel, what you can expect from the channel in the future, why I've made them, and I'm going to open it up to you guys to find out feedback of some of the things I've been testing for the last week. Let me make sure that I don't have any sound coming through that's crazy. Yeah, the internet definitely won't let us be great today. That is for sure, Ananda. I'm in a public library, and so usually public libraries have really good internet, but it's been raining nonstop today, and I do think that is affecting our connection. So as you noticed for the past week, let me just get the spiel out of the way real quick, just so I can let everyone know where we're at. For the last week, I've been doing some testing. I've been testing slightly more creative vlog style videos. I've had this channel for 10 years. And over 10 years, I have had the name Quotidian Light for like a year, like a decade and a half. And I would say for the past 6 years of the 10 years, I have not been happy with my YouTube channel. I've wanted to push it. I've wanted to be more creative. I've wanted to enjoy it more. And at first I felt held back by my content because it was started out as a hair channel. And whenever I would try to do videos that weren't about hair, I would get this huge backlash. And I was dealing with a lot of stress outside of YouTube, and my channel was taking on a lot of negativity, and it was just really difficult emotionally for me. So I stepped back several times with the intention of quitting entirely, but I never could quit because I loved it so much. And so for the last few years, I've had like this love-hate relationship with my channel. I love sharing. I love watching videos. I want to create videos, but I couldn't create the videos I wanted to create. I couldn't create videos that I was super proud of. And I had this viewership that I felt like a responsibility to create things for. And so it was just a lot for me to try to figure out what I can do. And I've wanted to be more creative, to put out videos that helped people, that really expressed where I am in my own growth. And I felt like I was being held back by my lack of technology and by my lack of skills. Not necessarily lack of vision, because I definitely have tons of visions. Visions are never my problem. And so when I got stuck in Albany, there really wasn't anything for me to do. I couldn't fix the car. I couldn't go to work. I didn't want to sit in my car reading because it's cold. And so it was time for me to really do a lot of thinking. And it came to me that I had this little camera, and it reminded me of a Digital Rev used to have this series where they would hand really famous photographers really cheap, crappy children's cameras, like Barbie cameras and stuff. And they would send them out into the street in some town, and these photographers were able to create art with it. And I had originally taken that idea when I was hitchhiking across the South and really moved my ability to make photos with my phone. And so my phone photos got significantly better. And then I lost my phone. And just when I lost my phone, I felt like something imploded in me, because I already was unhappy with my videos, but now I could create even less. And so the minute I got this camera, I thought to myself, I need to upgrade. I need to do this. If I'm going to have a YouTube channel, I need to be really happy with it. And I was planning on, as I traveled, to get better equipment and start doing vlogs and interviews and stuff like that. But stuck in Albany, I started just testing it. I looked at it and I was bored, and I picked it up and I thought, let me see what I can do with this crappy little camera. And so for the last 5 days, I've been uploading more creative vlog style content instead of my usual sit down and talk at you videos. I want to say hi to the people in chat. We have Ananda, we have Ree, we have Opulence, Reloaded. I want to thank you all for joining. And so for the last 5 days, I have kind of tested to see what it felt like to do more creative videos and to see what kind of hours it took to do it. Ask myself, is it sustainable? Ask myself what I can do to grow my channel. And I've come to several conclusions. And I guess this is what this whole video is about. So in short, the reason why I'm changing channels is because I'm not happy with it. And some of the changes that are going to happen are I'm going to be testing different styles of recording over the next few months until I find my own personal style. I'm going to be producing videos every day, which is something I've never done. I think I did like Veda maybe 2 years. But I told myself that I will create videos every day for a year. And the goal of this is to find my own creative video voice and to grow my channel. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years and I only have 25,000 subscribers. That kind of says it all. It's not a lot. In the last year, I've gained like 1,200 subscribers in the last year. And that's because people can sense that I'm not happy with my own videos. So this is going to be a really interesting time, and I'm hoping that you guys can enjoy it with me and let me know videos you like. Let me know what I'm doing right, as well as, you know, if you have any tips for me, things that are annoying or whatever. I'm really going to take this time to learn as much as I can. I want to learn how to edit. I want to learn how to create really amazing thumbnails. I want to learn how to make my channel show up in search and really put a voice out there for people that want to live fearlessly, that live in a van or live in an RV, or maybe they just live in a tiny house, or maybe they live in an apartment and they just want to push themselves to their limits. I want to be able to create videos that are positive and that inspire. So one of the things that I sat down and did was I thought about my name. I've had the name Quotidian Light for like a decade and a half. And what that means is quotidian means, in short, it means the everyday. It's the common. And light is kind of self-explanatory. And I look at my videos, I'm like, am I creating light for my viewers every day? And sometimes I do, a lot of times I don't. And so that is the lens by which I'm going to judge myself next year. I'm going to judge myself by, am I happy with my videos? Am I creating light for you guys every day? And has my channel grown significantly? And if it hasn't, I'm probably going to pack it up, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And so this is my test. Am I capable of doing it right? So I'm going to open it up to you guys. Anana says my camera looks and sounds great when I vlog. Honestly, I think it looks and sounds great in comparison to previous videos, for sure. But compared to where I want to take my channel, not so much. I would like to take it in a much more clean and professional filmography style, to have each video be like a really tiny film. And I would like it to have really good sound. I definitely want to work on my stability and my shots and making beautiful videos in addition to just competent videos, which is, I feel like, where I'm at right now. I was surprised that my videos were as competent as they were, but compared to where I want to be, I have a lot to learn. As far as the videos every day, that's going to be the really big challenge for me. So I'm not going to have super long videos anymore. Most of my videos are going to be really short, because let me just put it in, you know, short language. The 5-minute video I made yesterday took me like 6 hours to make, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having to learn from scratch. So yeah, it took a long time, like 6 hours to record and edit and find music and upload and create the thumbnail. And it's not at the quality that I want. So the videos are going to be short. Most of them are probably not going to, 10 minutes is my limit. I just can't. Plus with travel, the internet often is very sketchy. And so if having super long videos to upload, I just can't sit in a Starbucks for a day and a half waiting for one video to upload because it keeps stopping. So that means that periodically I'm going to have a live stream like this where I do come on and I sit down and I have a conversation with you guys. I would like to do it maybe once a month so that I can kind of check in and let you guys know where I'm at, because behind the scenes, I'm going to be doing a lot of testing, a lot of Linda classes, a lot of just learning. And it will be interesting to see monthly how things change. Ananda, I'm always going to be me. I actually think I'm going to be more me. So yeah, the fact that I haven't been happy with my channel for so long has made it really difficult to record. So one of the things about YouTube is consistency, and I haven't been consistent in a very long time. And the reason why I haven't been consistent is because I've kind of hated my channel. I've hated the videos I was creating. I wasn't feeling like I could create the videos I wanted and that people would want to watch them. And so I guess being in the van and just saying, and being just unadulterated me in my daily life has given me the strength to say, screw the haters and forget about the fact that I started as a hair channel and I'm going to disappoint people, and just make the videos that I love. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that every video has something in it that makes you guys more able to think about and create your own fearless life. And I want to show my growth. I want to show my journey. I want to show the places I see, the people I meet. I don't want it to be a normal van life channel. So everything is going to be through those lenses. If I do a tour video, it's going to be, yeah, a tour, but more about the why and the how and the inspiration behind it. Lil Me To Me says, been watching your videos for years now. Will continue to watch in whatever iteration your channel grows. I think YouTube viewing audience has changed somewhat over the years. Yes, it has. When I started, I think YouTube was about 6 or 7 months old. Oh, I'm not ignoring you, Salt and Pepper. I'm not growing my hair back, sorry. So back then, it was much more of like a really tiny community. There wasn't a lot of drama. There wasn't a lot of hate. You just had like your people that you talked to, and you could just sit and just have a conversation for a really long time. And now it's very different. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just think it's different. I think society has changed. And so now, you know, people just don't have the attention span to sit and have long conversations. Or if you've got a subscriber list of, you know, 200 channels you're watching, you can't spend 15 minutes on one person. And so shorter videos have gotten more important. But also, there's a lot of times when we sit down and have a long conversation, and what's happening is I'm figuring out my thoughts as I'm talking. And by editing, I can say a lot more in a lot smaller package and really get my message across. And I think getting my message across and becoming more artistic with my videos will allow me to stay intimate within these new parameters. I think it's important that my channel stays intimate, stays connected, stays inspirational, stays a learning channel, but is also able to grow and reach more people, especially within the current travel, van life community. I want something different. Like when I'm looking at channels, what I want isn't out there. So it's about time for me to create what I'm looking for. I want to watch people that are living in alternate ways, not necessarily so that I can learn how to live the way they're living, but so I can be inspired to figure out how I want to live. So as far as my hair, the reason why I'm not growing my hair back is because this is me right now. And I don't feel any need to grow my hair back. I just don't. And if I ever do grow my hair back, It will be because I want to. And actually, that was one of the issues why I began to hate my channel so much, because I didn't want to do hair videos anymore. And every time I considered cutting my hair, I felt held back by my viewers. And I was afraid of the backlash and afraid of people getting upset because I cut my locks, things like that. My asthma is not great right now. Tiana, you've got great ears. Yeah, my asthma is not doing so well at the moment, actually. Yeah, I loved my hair too, but I've loved being bald. As I said in the previous video, I have spent most of my life either locked or bald. I don't really care for having loose hair. I feel best locked or bald. And right now, as living the way I live, bald makes the most sense. It's easier, it's more comfortable, it is naked me. I'm not hiding behind my hair. I'm not attracting attention for my hair. If I'm getting attention, it's for me. And that's just where I'm at right now in my own personal growth. So let me see here. Let me see if there's any questions now that I've gotten that all out of the way. Opulence, I'm glad you like the music inserts. I'm definitely going to be fiddling with music. I'm going to be fiddling with music. I would like to fiddle with my poetry and adding poetry readings into my videos. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I would like to really explore making art with my videos instead of just, communicating what I did with my day. Let me see here. Ananda, I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily the money and Google that caused the issue with YouTube, because I was monetized way back when it first started, and it stayed intimate for a really long time. I think honestly what's hurt the intimacy of YouTube is the way humans interact right now, currently. And that's been affected by all of social media. So right now, everyone's a brand. Right now, everyone has to pick a side of whatever topic. Right now, people are quick to be offended without looking for nuance. Like, you can't have nuanced conversations frequently. People hear the first sentence and they jump in thinking they know what your beliefs are based on one sentence, instead of understanding that life isn't black and white. There's a lot of gray. And then I noticed this a long time ago. I did a video, I think it was about white people with locks. And I was speaking very nuanced, and it wasn't even heard. And I think that hurt it. I also think our education system going down is hurting it, so that there's just a mass lowering of the ability to have critical thinking skills. And so it's creating this social volatility where it's very volatile right now. And so YouTubers are no longer able to have sit down, intimate conversations because they are afraid of being misheard, being misunderstood, stepping on toes, making people angry, losing viewers. Everyone is having to speak in sound bites now. Will I ever come to Europe? I would love to go to Europe. What's in Europe? Europeans. I've always wanted to go to Europe. I've always wanted to go to France. I spoke patois as a little girl, and I would love to go. I've always felt really connected to France. I would like to see Portugal. I would like to maybe drive through Europe, but it's definitely on a lower list of things that I want to do. The most important is I want to do the Pan American Highway, and I will be starting it next year. I will be starting it right after Risa graduates from college. The minute she graduates from college, I'm turning up then driving up to Alaska, and then turning down and going straight down. And so after I do the Pan American Highway, I don't know what's going to happen. That is a long trip. It's probably going to be a year to 2 years. But after that, I would like to explore another continent for sure. Long-term goal, I would like to see the world before I die. And I would like to see it on land versus on plane. Tiana says, will you ever consider upgrading from the Astro to a small school bus? No. There's also a whole lot of Black people in Europe, Chamomile. We got to remember that Europe was where a lot of Black people fled when there were issues here. So the reason why I don't plan on upgrading to a small school bus is because I definitely want to focus more on overland travel. And school buses, a lot of times, are pretty difficult for that. When you're talking about rough roads, when you're talking about being able to fix vehicles yourself because you're not necessarily around diesel mechanics and things like that. There are a couple of videos that would make me drop Jolene like a bad habit. The Mitsubishi Delica is one. The Mitsubishi Delica was never really offered in the US. You have to get them imported. And they are a true 4x4 van. They're small like the Astro. They're a little curvier than the Astro, so they would not be fun to build. But I would love to have one. The other vehicle that I would enjoy having is, I forget what it's called, but it's like this meaty, like overland truck thing that's being made in Australia right now. And it's kind of amazing. I would love to have one of those, but I don't feel the need for anything bigger. I don't need a big bus. I don't need even a smaller bus, really. The length of Jolene is fine for me. The height leaves something to be desired, but there's definitely benefits to having a van that isn't so tall. Let me see here. What did you say? I said, I'm not sure because it's been a while. As far as the conversations about Europe, Europe is someplace I've always wanted to go. You know, there's a lot of history about parts of Europe where, you know, during Jim Crow, a lot of Black artists had to go to Europe because they were not able to do their art here. There's a reason why James Baldwin went to France. Like, there's a reason for all of that. And I would love to go to those places and really explore. I would like to see Spain. I would like to see Portugal. I would like to really see it all. And honestly, Black people are everywhere. And a lot of times it's hard to recognize it, but sometimes it's easier not being here. That said, I love it here. I've learned to love it here. There was definitely a time when I was very angry about being in the US, and the hitchhiking through the South definitely made me fall back in love with the US. It really helped me learn to not be so angry, but I want to explore everywhere. Okay. Whoa, let's be nice in the comments. Let me see here. Does anyone else have any other questions for me? I definitely don't want to let this go too long. The primary reason for this was I made such a drastic change to the channel without really explaining it. And so I wanted to kind of come in here and explain it. Opulence, to be honest, I want to go everywhere. When I die, I want to have seen the world. I want to see every island. I want to see every continent. I want to travel slowly. I don't want to travel fast. I like the term slow travel, where you're traveling at a slow enough rate that you get to live like a local as you're going from different location to different location. And that's how I want to travel. That's one of the reasons why I want to do it overland. I would love to put Jolene on a barge and like float across to the next continent after I'm done with the Pan American Highway. Like, you know, I think crazy stuff. You guys know me. I'm always thinking something crazy. Okay. Let me see here. Yep, it is working. Okay, so I guess I didn't explain the change entirely. So the changes that I'm making to the channel is I will be uploading something every day. Most videos will be much shorter. 10 minutes of length is my limit, except for live streams and like special occasions. You can expect that the visuals of my videos will continue to change until I find the style and the workflow that works best for me. Definitely be adding more art into my videos and more vlogs that really explore how I'm living fearlessly. And instead of sitting down and having like a sit down video where I answer a question or whatever, I will be answering questions through my daily vlogs that way. I'm giving myself 1 year to upload every single day. And if I am not feeling inspired by my channel, and if my channel is not growing, then I will most likely quit YouTube. Those are the changes in a nutshell. I will definitely be answering that question, Calming Waters, in upcoming vlog for sure. I have a list of, I don't go to the gym. I have a list of questions that I'm going to be answering in upcoming vlogs, and that is one of them because I know folks want to know. Do I have an end date for van living? No, I don't. I don't really plan that far ahead. Like for me, just saying that I'm going to upload every day for the next year was like a really big leap because I don't like planning. I'm always changing stuff. I have horrible follow through. For me to say this publicly is kind of scary, but I have to test myself. Like I have to know, is my channel not growing because I'm just not good at YouTube? Or is my channel not growing because I'm not pushing myself and inspiring myself through my videos? Let me see here. I would like to know something I look forward to do with one of my kids, seeing all the changes you made with your van. Oh, thank you. I'm really loving the direction the van is going. It definitely has a long way to go, but it's finally starting to approximate the vision I've had for the van. I'm really excited about getting the alternator in the van and getting my countertop done, because once I can sink into the countertop, it's gonna be so nice to have a sink in my van. But again, with the van, I'm just doing everything one step at a time. I've thought about getting a dog for company on the road. I'm allergic to cats, and with dogs, there's only a few breeds I can have. I've thought about getting a Havanese. I will not. And that is because I want to travel internationally, and I want to travel in a way that would make it really difficult to have an animal with me. So unfortunately, I'm not getting a dog unless the earth serves one up to me while I'm on the road. It's kind of a bummer. I would like a dog. My daughter would like me to have a dog. I have allergies and a hearing issue, and she's always telling me that I need to get a service dog. But I mean, going in and out of customs, in and out of countries, I don't want to be in a situation like there was a couple that was coming into the US from Canada, and their dog was put in a crate outside for several hours while they were interrogated at the border. And their dog never got well. Their dog got so sick, they ended up having to abandon their trip, or the dog was going to die because the dog got huge sickness from the heat. And so, yeah, there's that. Miss Monica All Day asked if going international, where would be my first stop? My first stop is going to be Canada, because if I'm going to do the Pan American Highway, I'm going to start from as far north as I can, and you got to get through Canada to get to Port Bay. So after my daughter's graduation, I'm going to drive up to Port Bay, which means I'm going to go through Canada, and then I'm going to turn around and start heading down. And then the Pan American Highway goes through Central and South America. And then when I get to the tip, normally people stop at Argentina. I'm going to go all the way to the tip of South America, and then I would like to hop on like a cruise ship and go see Antarctica. So I want to go from pole to pole. Last question. Everyone says last question, but you know what? We know there's never a last question, right? Were you mechanically inclined or carpenter before van life? No, I'm not mechanically inclined. So there's this funny story where when I first moved into the tiny house, Chase wanted to saw something. And so he watched me try to saw through a piece of wood with a handsaw, and he damn near fell over laughing. No skills at all. I didn't learn how to cut a straight line until towards the end of making my bed. And then I had to unlearn it because I was trying to put perfectly square drawers into a bed that wasn't square. So no, I was not a carpenter. What I have that helps me is that I'm not afraid of making mistakes. So I research, I watch videos on something, I do it, I make mistakes, I redo it. I have no fear of doing that. And I feel like being able to fix my own van is an important skill as a woman. As a solo woman on the road, I think being able to fix our vans is even more important than it is for the guys. And I think it's important for the guys. My brothers were all mostly mechanics. They all learned on their own through books. Like they lived with the Haynes manuals. That's how they learned. So I'm not afraid of learning that way. The benefits that I see through doing my own repairs are both safety and financial. I'm not one of these people that has a ton of money or has a trust fund or has family with money. So if I break down, I need to be able to fix it financially. When I put the alternator in my van, for half of what it would cost me to take it to a shop, I will be able to fix the alternator, the belts, put in new wires, and buy the tools and have those tools for the next repair. And I will be spending less than half of what I would pay to take it to a shop. Second reason is for safety. If you're broken down in the middle of nowhere and you don't know how to fix your vehicle, as a lone woman, you're at the mercy of whoever wants to come and help you. As one young couple on here learned when they were towed to a mechanic shop and the mechanic was on meth and really thought the girl was pretty and made them both very uncomfortable, that's not always a good thing. So I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to putting in the alternator. But what I do know how to do is how to learn and how to try and how to undo and redo it until I get it right. And that means that I can learn anything. Will I get a hearing aid before you do the Pan American trip? No, I will not. I do not have enough money for a hearing aid. Hearing aids are extremely expensive. I've looked into some services to try to get a hearing aid. The only one that I really qualify for would be like half cost, but half of 6,000 is still like 3,000. I would have to be in one location for a really long time. I wouldn't be able to travel in order to get it. I would have to, one time I looked into getting it when I was in California and it wouldn't work because I was self-employed. Like there's all these things. So no, I'm not getting a hearing aid. When I get to South America, I may be able to get one down there because everything's cheaper down there. But as far as getting one in the US, it isn't going to happen. How have my feet been doing? My feet have been doing pretty good, actually. I'm still able to stay in my minimalist shoes, and as long as I don't wear regular shoes, the plantar fasciitis hasn't come back, and the swelling hasn't come back. So it's just a matter of walking every day and staying in minimalist shoes. At one point, I lost my minimalist sandals, and I got regular sandals. And oh my God, plantar fasciitis came back within 2 weeks. It had like some arch support in there. Bam, it killed my feet. But the minute I got back into minimalist sandals, it was all good. it kind of sucked with the sandals because it meant that I was having to wear my enclosed wildlings the entire summer, and it was really hot. And so every time I wanted to wear like sandals, I didn't have sandals. So now I have my wildlings and I have my minimalist sandals, and that's it. I have every plan to do serious adventure, follow signal. I've been wanting to see the world, travel, do crazy stuff for a long, long time. And I have every intention of making it happen. I've still got weight to lose. That's the reason why I'm working on getting healthier, is so that I can do crazy shit without getting turned away for being too fat or hurting myself. So yes, I need to get more flexible. I need to get my asthma in much better condition. I actually think I was exposed to some mold at my last job, and because my breathing just went to shit. But you know, I'm just taking care of myself, and I'll keep getting better. Will the twins ride with me at some point? Probably not. I would love for them to. I think it'd be really cool to travel with the kids. I do have dreams of a little Maya family caravan going through some country. My daughter has talked about maybe getting a van someday, but she's also talked about going to grad school and things like that. My son's talking about maybe emigrating to another country. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they're kind of cool. And I think they make awesome adults. They're making much better adults than I do. So, you know, can't complain. But yeah, it would be super fun to do a caravan with the kids. Have I gone through Virginia yet? I hitchhiked through Virginia, but I was kind of rushing, so I didn't really see it. Yeah, opulence. When I get to Antarctica, I will probably just straight up cry, especially when I see a penguin. And the minute I get back from Antarctica, I'm getting a tattoo of a penguin. Any bucket list items along my journey? Yes. So bucket list items. I need to learn how to swim good enough that I can swim in the ocean. And I need to do that so I can learn how to surf. I want to learn how to surf. I also want to scuba dive. I want to jump out of an airplane. And I want to wear one of those like scroll windsurfing suits that people put on and then they jump off a mountain. Yeah, I want to do that. Shanae says, I think social media would help with my channel visibility. Actually, I used to have a lot of social media. And it made me miserable, and it didn't help with my channel visibility. My channel has had some really significant problems. If you know anything about YouTube, they're pretty obvious. I just haven't felt inspired to really attack them. And it's only been lately that I think over the last couple months, I've been kind of making plans about how I was going to attack the weaknesses of my channel. And now I'm actually doing it. My goal is to dramatically grow my channel over the next year and to make some really amazing content. That's my goal. I want my content to be inspiring and fun and entertaining and artistic and a much better reflection of who I am. And then it says my kids are cool. I totally agree. I love my babies. What items will you carry, and who will be coming with you on your journey? I am on a solo journey, so I am only going with myself. And I will definitely be doing a series of videos about the items that I carry because I don't carry very much. Yesterday's vlog, was it yesterday's? I think it was yesterday's vlog. I showed what I do for my everyday carry when I leave my van for any length of time. So when I leave my van, I always think about, what do I need on me in case my van gets towed or in case someone drives into my van? I think it's important. We've seen some instances of van lifers having like the worst happen, and they've like literally got like a purse and all their stuff is locked up somewhere. So I went through that, but I will be doing a video on, you know, what my clothes that I have, what items I have. I don't have much. I'm a minimalist, which definitely makes it much easier to be in such a tiny vehicle. Opulence asked if I'm going to look for Buddhist temples on my travels. Most definitely. I really enjoyed spending time at Zen Mountain Monastery. There's a couple temples that I would like to visit periodically. I would also like to really visit some non-Zen temples because I've only been to one Buddhist Churches of America temple. And outside of that, I've always gone to Zen temples. So it would be really cool to see different styles of temples, especially when I get to Asia. Like, I'm all about, like, I want to see the temples in Cambodia. I want to see the temples in Japan. I would love to look at all the temples. Message retracted. I'm not sure I saw that. I'm sorry I missed your message. Next question. What is upstate New York like as a person of color? I really liked it, but I mean, it's pretty pale. I mean, Albany's not. Albany, I've seen, like, okay, I have a story for you guys. When I first got to Palinville, I didn't really realize just how people of color starved I was until I was at work one day, and a group of young, very hip Black folks from the city came in, and I got so giddy and so excited. My coworker started laughing at me because I was like, my people are here, and look, they're dark, and they've got natural hair, and look, that one's got dreadlocks, and that one's got a like, I was so starved, so absolutely starved. It was ridiculous. So, I mean, it can be pretty pale depending on where you're at, but it's also pretty chill, and I didn't have any issues. I would say, like, Woodstock, there's not a whole lot of Black people, but everyone there is just like super chill, and they just don't even care. And the few Black women you'll find, a lot of times, they're very natural, or they're artists, and so it's pretty chill. Albany, I totally forgot just how pale of an area I've been in until I got to Albany, and then it was like, oh my goodness, we're everywhere. So, you know, it just depends on you. Now, that said, I was raised in a white household in a Hispanic side of town, so I can deal with, like, my threshold of too much whiteness is like a little slightly different than a lot of people's threshold for too much whiteness, but I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I've definitely been in places that were much worse. Northern California, like Marin County, I was so done. I was so done. Like, there's a reason I left within 2 days of seeing my son off. I just couldn't deal. Opulence asks, have I ever thought about adding a spiritual element to my channel? And meaning my spiritual experiences, and that would be a big fat no. And the reason for that is my spiritual beliefs. Religiously, I am Buddhist, but my spiritual beliefs go a little bit beyond that. And for many people that follow me, they would find that offensive. And also, I find that by not addressing spiritual beliefs on my channel, it really tampers down the amount of people that want to save me. And frankly, I find that whole dynamic offensive and difficult for me. And it's really hard for me to remember to be mindful and compassionate when that happens. And so by not speaking on spiritual experiences, I just kind of avoid the whole situation altogether. So how's my Spanish coming? It hasn't been. I've been lazy. I need to not be lazy. Have I been recognized in public? Yes, and I'm an utter hermit, and I completely freaked out. I didn't know how to handle it, and I tried to do a meetup, and I totally just got nervous and scared. It was years ago. Outside of that, I think I've only been recognized maybe once where someone's like, oh, I've seen you on YouTube. And then that's all it was. It was like maybe twice. Thank you, Jay. Jay says, I've been subscribed for years, and I truly enjoy listening to your chats, thought process, and how you embrace individualism. I think individualism is really important because you can't be part of a community unless you are yourself. And I'm still learning who I am. And I'm definitely working towards becoming more me. No, I am not an Aquarius. I am a Taurus. I'm not into astrology, but I am a Taurus, and I've got a whole lot of other stuff thrown in there that makes me not look like a Taurus. Let me see here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Not sure. I think I got all the questions. Did I miss any questions? I don't think I missed any. I don't think it's a matter that they can't accept me. I actually think it comes from a place of love. Like, if you honestly believe that you're right and everybody else is wrong and you care about somebody, then you're going to want to try to save them. Like, I get it. I just find it extremely offensive. And so it makes it so that I'm less likely to talk about my spiritual journey. I don't like proselytizing no matter what the faith. Like, I get just as icked out by proselytizing atheists. I think there's nothing worse than evangelical atheists. And so, yeah, like, I just don't like evangelizing, period. And when you have a spiritual channel, you are so open to so much negativity. Like, go look at some of the channels out there, some of the Christian channels, some of the Buddhist channels, some of the magic channels. Like, go through their comments. I don't need that in my life. It is weird when people don't speak when you see like your people and you're like, hey, and then they're just like, it's very strange. Very, very strange. I get it, but it's strange. I just don't. I'm glad you finally caught me live too. I'm not going to be doing near as many live chats, but I'm definitely going to try to schedule them more in advance so that people actually know when they're going to happen and can, attend. I've never pretended like I'm not that person because, okay, here's the thing. The first time when someone recognized me and like I got super nervous, ended up not meeting up with them because I totally freaked out. The first time I was walking across the street and someone yelled Quotidian Light at me. Now, the thing is, I've literally had that name for so long and it's so ingrained in my identity that I answer to it. And so I'm not able to pretend that I don't know who's talking to me. Like, I will answer to that just as quickly as I'll answer to my own name. List essentials that you need to survive in your journey. Oh God, I haven't even thought about that because honestly, I think everyone's going to need something different. What I will do is I'll list the things that I put in my bag. When I leave my van, the things that I put in my bag to make sure if my van disappears, I'm okay, are my computer, my writer's notebook, my fountain pen, my pencils. What do I have in there? My menstrual cup, usually an extra pair of panties because that would just suck. Getting your van towed and you're stuck in the same undies for like a week, that would suck. My wallet, my toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, my phone, and that's it. That's what's in my bag. Outside of my like, oh my God, my van's gone. What do I need? I don't need much. I have very few clothes. I have some food. Like, if you think about it, think about hierarchy of needs. What do you need? You need shelter, food, clothing, community. That's it. That means I need a van or a hut or a tent. I need food and a way to cook it. And I need people. That's like, I have a small camp. I have a small like hatch underneath my bed that I'll show you guys that has my camping gear in it. And I will go through that with you. Like, if I had to abandon my van and like just put everything on my backpack, I would probably put like 3 days worth of clothes and then what's in that pouch. And that would be it. Yeah. I can't lie. It's just, I'm a horrible liar. It would probably make things easier if I was able to be like, I don't know who Quotidian Light is. You have the wrong person. But I'm honestly so honest that it wouldn't dawn on me to say that. Shanae says, it's been interesting watching the changes in your channel from the lock videos to van life and writing. It's felt interesting. When I started the channel, I really loved my lock content, but there became a channel dynamic within the community that was just, it wasn't emotionally healthy for me to be a part of it anymore. And I think that's why when I finally did cut my locks, it was almost a relief because it was like this final permission to walk away from lock content. because I'd actually tried to do videos that had nothing to do with locks several times, and it was not well received. I pretty much just got hit with haters and thumbs downs and people coming in and just being like, we want lock videos. I want lock videos. And I get it. That's what they subscribed for. But I was miserable making lock videos. And so when I finally cut my hair, then that expectation of me making lock videos went away. And it was like this huge weight that went off my shoulders. It was much more of a relief. And I think it just took me a few years to just kind of decompress from all that negativity for so long for me to feel happy enough to re-embrace my channel again. Yeah, the meeting people aspect is super important when you're a hermit, because like even it's part of our development. We physically need to be with other people. And so being in my van actually kind of forces me to be around people in a way that I wouldn't be if I was in an apartment. If I was in an apartment, I very easily could go weeks without talking to anybody. Ask my kids, they've seen it happen, and it would not be good for me emotionally. But by being in the van, I have to get out of the van and talk to people on a regular basis. And that's both good for me mental health wise, but it's also really good for my writing. I tell my son all the time, you can't write about the world if you're not of the world. Yeah, being able to grab and go in an instant was something that I decided to retain, because I started gathering more stuff when I got the van. And then I was like, you know what? If something bad happens and I have to ditch, I want to be able to grab what I need in like 10 minutes. Like, right? Like, let's say I'm broken down on the side of the road in some little tiny town in the middle of nowhere, and I've got to just ditch, and I've got maybe 5 minutes to grab my stuff before like narcos are coming or whatever. I want to be able to grab my bag, throw in my camping gear, throw my clothes, maybe a day's worth of food. I'm out. Like that is security. Ms. Monica says, do you think you'll ever train and instruct others on your beliefs, educational training, survival, motivation, meditation, etc.? I think that's a hard question. On my beliefs outside of spiritual beliefs, I think that's where my channel is heading. You know, I want to leave each video with giving you a little bit of quotidian light. And that means leaving you with motivation, leaving you with a skill, leaving you with an idea, something that will help motivate you to discover what your own fearless life looks like. And so, yeah, but on the other hand, no. So I'm not, well, knock on wood, because I mean, the minute I say I'm not going to do something, then suddenly it happens. So, you know, who knows? I become a monk and suddenly I'm on YouTube giving like, you know, lectures. Like, I'll never say it won't happen, but I don't plan on doing videos on Buddhism, on magic, or anything like that. It's just that side of YouTube has an energy that I just don't want to mess with. I don't want to deal with it. I want to promote a lot of positivity and inspiration on my channel as much as possible. And I want to avoid drama, which was the final kicker that made me decide to do a channel, to go ahead and do a van life channel, but do it different. Is because within the van life community, I've seen a lot of drama lately. I'm seeing a lot of people going towards content that they know is going to get views. So they're only doing one style of video, or, you know, I really want to do videos of not so much how to live a van life, but how my van life helps me live a fearless life, and how to discover what type of living will allow you to live a fearless life. Like that's where my head's at. Do I ever put jewelry in my ears? I see them stretched. I've had them stretched I started stretching in 1993. So it's been more than 2 decades. It did not hurt to stretch them. It did hurt to cut them. I did have them scalpeled at one point. I've had them stretched for so long. Do I ever put jewelry in my ears? I do not have jewelry right now. My jewelry right now is in Las Vegas. When I do get to Las Vegas, I will be picking up my jewelry. Will I wear my jewelry every day? Sometimes, sometimes not. I know a lot of people, I do get this question. I'm going to scroll up a little bit so I don't lose any comments while I talk about this, because I've gotten some questions saying, don't you stretch your ears anymore? Don't you wear jewelry anymore? And I will always have stretched ears. Whether or not I wear jewelry in my ears is a separate question. So I don't see jewelry as the reason for having stretched ears. I see jewelry as like, you know, like a makeup. It's like an extra that you add on top of who you already are. And as you see, I haven't worn makeup in I don't know how long. Like, it's been a while. So I've always loved my ears empty. When I very first started stretching my ears, the reason why I started stretching my ears, because as a little girl, I used to read a lot of National Geographic. And the pictures in National Geographic that interested me the most, that I thought were the most beautiful, were these Maasai women with stretched ears, but not the young ones with the plugs still in. I always thought the older ones with the empty ears, the really long ears, were always beautiful. And so that's kind of the look I've always gone for. So when I don't wear jewelry in my ears, it's because I like the way my empty ears look. That said, someday I would like to go and have them cut in a more Maasai style. So that would mean removing all this lower cartilage, so that it retains more of that old world Maasai look. But it's a very spiritual look to me. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I feel like it lets in the world in like a metaphorical way. And so I will always have stretched ears, but jewelry is just like, I mean, it's like, you know, am I going to wear makeup today? Am I not? Am I going to wear a ring? Am I going to wear a skirt or pants? Like, that's how I look at jewelry. Okay, next. Tiana, that's one of the reasons why I left the lock videos up, because I know that a lot of people really do find them helpful. There was one point where I was getting a lot of negativity. I actually thought about pulling them all down, but I thought that would really do a disservice to the community. So I have made a promise to myself that I will leave all the lock videos up. Have you ever heard of YouTube poops? No, and I'm not sure I want to. YouTube drama is so toxic. I've heard of people getting death threats and having to call law enforcement. I'm glad you got away from it. Yes, I've had death threats. I have walked away from YouTube several months at a time. At one point, YouTube had me literally in bed crying, like, on a daily basis. Like, it can get really bad. I'm very empathic. I don't have a thick skin. I'm developing a little bit better skin as far as being able to just walk away from a negative comment, but sometimes they just get so personal, and it's been really bad lately. Yeah, I think one of the things that happens when creators feel like they aren't allowed to change, because all people change. And I think that when creators feel like they aren't allowed to change, it really holds them back, obviously, but I think it holds back their viewers as well, because we're all changing. And like you said, if you hadn't been subscribed from my hair days, you wouldn't know anything about van life. Now you know about van life because I'm changing and you're following me as a human. No training on YouTube, in-person small group trainings. As far as spiritual trainings, I don't foresee myself doing that. I just don't. If I were to wake up one day and feel like that was my calling, I would have no problem dropping everything and doing that. But right now, I don't see that. I have thought about doing something else, but I don't know. I don't know. Opulence, I think that, yeah, I think the comfort of living with stretched ears when you don't have anything in them, I think that's something that often comes with time. I know a lot of people that have been stretched for 20 years, and they are much more likely to leave the house with nothing in their ears than people that have only been stretched, 5 years. This is great. I found your channel today because of the lock vids. My godson has hair texture like your son. Ironically, came back to see how you live. Amazing. I tease my son all the time about those videos because those videos got they got so many views. people were coming on to those videos talking about how cute my son was. I teased him unmercifully about those videos. I'd just be like, Ariel, I'm broke. I need to do a hair video. Come here, let me pimp your hair. Just tease him. Yeah, I'm like, someone else said you're hot today. Yeah, he's such a sweetheart. And his hair is amazing right now. I can't wait to see him in person and give him a big giant hug and grab him like he's 5. His hair is, to his butt. Yeah, Shanae, when you have thin skin, being a YouTuber sometimes is really scary. To me, there would be no hell worse than being famous. Like, I'm actually really thankful that I quit acting when I did, because I've known famous people. Oftentimes they are so miserable. Like, there is just so much pressure, and the paparazzi is just horrible. Like, I would never want to have like a super, super big channel. Like, remember Michelle Phan, when she left, like, there was a reason she left. Like, it was horrible. Like, she literally couldn't go anywhere. I'm so glad that I've been a positive influence on your life, Jasmine. That's just really special. And yeah, Miss Monica, like, that's my goal. I've been working so hard on developing my own light every day, regardless of circumstances, regardless of where I'm at in my depression, regardless of how much money I have, regardless of anything that's going on, trying to find that little bit in every single day. That's beautiful. That's amazing. That's teaching me something. And to be able to pass that on is going to be, like, I feel like that's my life's purpose, really. If my writing makes me famous, I write literary fiction, so likelihood of that happening is not very high. If it were to happen, that would be really scary. I would probably turn into Thomas Harris and like stop writing. because the act of being famous is absolutely petrifying. You have to understand that when you are that famous, you literally have lost all your freedom. There's a video right now of Justin Bieber just trying to go have dinner with his wife, and they literally can't move the car. They can't do the simplest things. Like, I've always kind of teased about this generation and how, like, they're very risk averse. Like, there's stuff that I did at 19, 20 that nowadays, like, these kids have no rebellion in them, and it's because everything they do follows them. It's 10 times worse if you're famous. So you can't go through an awkward period. You can't say the wrong thing. You can't look upset that someone is grabbing your 5-year-old in the middle of the street, because it's all getting reflected back to you, and then you are ungrateful to the people that made you. Like, these people are still human, but in our society, we no longer treat famous people as if they're human. So the idea of being famous is petrifying. My goal would be to have my video do well and help people and possibly become a consistent source of income. But my goal would never be to have like a ginormous channel. My goal for my writing is to create art. If I were to become visually famous, I would probably kill all of my visual media and go live in another country somewhere in a tiny little house and send my agent books from a distance. Like, I was only partially joking about the Thomas Harris comment. Like, there's a reason why the dude that writes Silence of the Lambs is very, very under the radar, writes very infrequently, hasn't written a book in years. Like, there's a reason. Being famous isn't fun. And I don't think the source of the fame matters, because when you're famous, everyone loves you. Well, no, when you're famous, everyone either loves who they think you are or they hate you. And they feel entitled to your privacy, your attention, and your time. Very few people look at you as human anymore. And then your inner circle becomes very much full of people that you don't trust anymore. Like, are your friends, or are they just there because you're famous? Like, there's this whole dynamic. There's a reason why a lot of famous actors, musicians and stuff, they kill themselves, they start doing drugs, they're miserable, they're depressed, they're full of anxiety. Like, it's not a healthy life. And I think that people that strive for fame are in for a really rude awakening. So if you are doing the thing that gives you your life purpose and makes you happy, and it happens to lead to fame, then fame is just something that you're just going to have to deal with. But striving for fame just for fame's sake, that's just stupidity in my book. Follow Signal Man 26 says, I can imagine when you tell Ariel about the cute comments, he's laughing on the outside, but on the inside, he's like, I want to die. Well, honestly, he gets that every day at work too. So it's just something he's going to have to deal with. That boy gets so sexually harassed by older women at work. Like, oh, my poor son. Like, he can't even like rack the carts outside because he's pushing grocery carts, and women are like looking at his butt as they're driving by. Like, it's just kind of out of hand. Let me see here. Okay, how long have we been doing this? I don't even know. We've been on here for a while. It's been a while. So I'm going to answer, let me see here. I'm going to give us 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So if you have any final questions, go ahead and ask them right now. And then we will call it a day. And I will, well, my vlog will see you tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Jackie Brown. Like, my son, you think guys can be bad. Let me tell you, women can be just as bad. We can be so crass and so crude sometimes. The poor son gets the butt of it all. So any other questions? And then I am going to close this down. We have been on here for a while. And unfortunately, I had to switch programs. I'm not exactly sure how long we've been live streaming. I told myself I want to keep it under an hour, but 66 minutes ago. It's been an hour and 6 minutes. What am I having for dinner? Coffee. And I'm not joking. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner, but I do know I'll have coffee. Okay, we are at an hour and 6 minutes, and so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So if you are not subscribed and you want to make sure that you see all the updates, see all the changes, follow me on this journey, definitely go down and click subscribe and keep an eye out. The branding and thumbnails and everything is going to be changing, and hopefully it'll all be changing for the better. Until next time, ciao. Chicken.